What's up, guys? This is your boy Faza. This is gonna be another updated video on the Midnight software for Halo MCC, Halo Infinite, and Marvel Rivals. If you're not aware of what this software is, it is a basically cheat software that lets you have performance upgrades against other people in the game. And so we're going to be discussing the dark side of this tool. We're also going to be talking in depth a little bit more about the owners, as well as the people getting scammed, and as well as the people who have told me the stories about their PCs getting ratted, which is, in my opinion, is ridiculous. But anyways, we're going to get into that right away. And so first thing we're going to discuss here is the owner. And here's our little title and our little format we're going to be discussing of all the topics here. And so the owner himself is a guy who's out of Missouri. We've located this individual. And so if you guys have been scammed, or you guys are still having issues with your computer or anything like that that has come from the use of this software, please do reach out to me. We're gonna try and see what we can do regarding that, and as well as the scamming of people's money and shit, because most of you guys understand that this is a cheat tool that's costing thousands of dollars for its use, and we have people getting scammed and people's PCs, which are probably worth more than the tool itself, having issues after using the tool. And so we're going to break down some of that. But that's who this guy is. It's the owner here. And so the next thing we're going to be discussing is its scamming epidemic. And so this tool here has just some ridiculous rules. And so we have some people here, for example, one guy here that had his tool taken away because he was using assassination hack on, Assassination Tower on Halo Reach. And so from what I was notified is this player killed another Midnight player, did not know the other person had Midnight, which is I guess it's like a violation of his harassment policy or something. And so he had his $1,200 tool ripped away from him for accidentally killing another Midnight player. And so that's just one of the major issues that we're kind of trending, that we're seeing with other players. We also here have some of the rules that have been listed off. So let's take a look at these actually. So like we just discussed, not being able to kill another Midnight player, let alone call them a bitch or say they're trash or, anything like that is, that's a violation, right? They'll yeet your tool out of here. They'll just take it from you. And they also have a no refund policy. So you could buy lifetime and then you find out maybe it's not working on your PC 30 minutes later and all this and that. And then, there's no refund. They'll steal your money if it doesn't work. They will not refund you anything. If you call someone a bitch, they won't refund it. For example, with my story, when they're eating my tool away, right now, well, they said something about me harassing. However, I currently don't have beef with any of the Midnight players, so I don't understand what they're referring to by I'm currently harassing someone. So that was very confusing to me. It's just another made up excuse that they kind of target players. I think why they do that is to try and get more money out of you. I'm not too sure what the whole reasoning is. Overall, it's just an explanation of why you should avoid the tool. So anyways, the Midnight owner here goes on to say, can't say bad things about the tool. So complaining about maybe something not working, or maybe a feature you don't like, or anything like that would be a simple violation, and they would just, yeet your $1,200 tool. And so, that's just another, there's other cheats out there that you can get that's not going to be ridiculous like this, where you're going to drop $1,200 and then just have that shit yeeted from you because of some minor little stuff, And anyways, and so can't use other mod tools. So, if the owner finds out you've used Cheat Engine before, or if you ever used like Nightfall before, or whatever other tools are out there, he'll eat your shit, right? Can't share your login. So, like, if someone sees you logging in, if you're screen sharing on accident or something, and they see you log in, bam, lose your tool. Any little shit like that. And one computer only, right? So, trying to access your Midnight tool on another computer without getting an official hardware reset, it's a rule violation. You'll get banned for that as well, right? It's kind of ridiculous. And then next subject here is we're going to be discussing the rats, right? And so the rats over here at Midnight, we have here them talking about another tool called Nightfall, which had a lot of rats in it, probably more than Midnight. I'll give them credit for that. But we do understand that Nightfall has a way where they're able to see everything you're doing on your screen. The reasoning is something to do with people trying to like get into the tool or something, or people trying to steal cheats, or which is who gives a shit. Like, make better security, right? Like, you're violating people's privacy, right? Do you really want these guys that are like just scamming people and trying to see everything you're doing on your computer? Like, what if you're accessing like bank information or something? Like, these guys are gonna see that shit. So definitely not a good thing to have when it comes to that. I mean, I know from other experiences from other of these tools out there where people were saving, had a code where it would save your Google passwords, and then you piss them off. Next thing you know, the owner of Midnight's like going into like your Gmail or your PayPal account and all that. Like, there's rats and shit like that. It's just like, that's just stuff you got to really look out for, right? And then obviously they can see your IP. So, if you're randomly like getting DDoS or something, I mean, you already know where it's coming from. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And hardware IDs, and who knows what else that isn't confirmed when it comes to these rats. I've spoken to two other people that after their use of Midnight, they one of them, which also was banned, they started having a lot of PC issues, like blue screens constantly, like a slowdown of their computer, and there was like weird pop-ups and shit happening, and very like suspicious stuff, right? That we found very alarming in my investigation when I started interviewing these people. It's just more of a sign to like, hey, don't use this shit, right? I mean, it might look like a cool tool or whatever, but like, one, you're gonna get scammed more than likely. Two, you're gonna get your PC fucking ratted. It's just not worth it, guys. So I would just stay away from that. So the next thing here we're gonna be discussing is the price gouging. So let's take a look at the current prices. So we got a 1-day key here for $22.40. Keep in mind, this is for the basic version of Midnight. This isn't coming with the features you get with like a lifetime version. So $22.40, that's insane. Like, a game that has what, max like 4,000 people at its busiest peak day nowadays, game's basically dead. You're paying $22.40 for a 1-day key. I mean, in most mod cases, that's like a monthly subscription or something, right? But for a day key, that's just psycho. That's insane. And so you spend $22, and then they steal your money, and then you don't get the tool. So like, what's the point, And then you got the Halo MCC 1-week key for $60, which is crazy. Like, for other average prices out there, we're talking like, that's like a 6-month package or something, that's just wild. Like, even like Nightfall, you could probably get like at least 6 months with a 1-week key. It's just insane. And then we got Halo MCC 1 month. So now we're getting into these crazy numbers, right? So we're looking at $123. We're getting to like what some other tools might charge for a year or even for a lifetime package for that much. But for a game that's just dying, and like they're trying to get customers, and then I got multiple people that I'm interviewing that have been scammed and shit like that. Like, that's not going to help their case, bro. And I'll put a list down of confirmed people in the description that have been scammed. You guys can go and talk to them and see what their stories are. And I got other people that I'm still in talks with on like what exactly is going on between them and Midnight, because this is just pretty offensive. And then we got the lifetime price. So the last I heard, it was sitting at $1,200, which is crazy for a game that's dead. Like, I don't get that. $1,200, you go get a nice ass PC, bruh. Like, let alone spend it on a game that's dying, right? And like, I have multiple friends that are currently I have a lot of friends that are currently on Midnight, half of which are monthly and the other half are lifetime. And I've been talking to them, and one of them I was actually preparing to buy him lifetime. He was going to send me the money because he's not good with crypto, and I was going to go pay the owner like I've done with other people in the past. And then literally I get yeeted off the tool, and now he's backing out of that deal because he doesn't want the same to happen to him. I mean, it's just, I mean, the trust is just going down, right? I mean, it's not, I understand my friend, he doesn't want to spend $1,200 and then get his tool yeeted away for some beef that maybe occurred for a week, or something like that, something little shit like that. And so that's very understandable. And then the monthly users I'm talking about, they're not going to be buying it either because of all the crashes and all the PC effects. It's having a negative effects on their PC, and they're having constant crashes. And then also the distrust of what happened to their friends being yeeted off the tool and things like that are some major issues. That's what I'm getting from the current users. And so, I mean, that should be a pretty big eye-opener. And then we have something called the advanced IP puller. So all that is it's something above the lifetime where you can just pull tags and it puts the IP next to the gamer tag of the person. It's more accurate. And that's about a $3,000 purchase, which is you could get a pretty damn good elite PC for that price. So let's get into the abuse here, right? And so as we can see here, we have just one screenshot. We have someone getting killed by Midnight abuse, right? And so there are some players out there that they'll buy the tool not just to get ahead in the game and do shit like that, but rather just completely abuse the tool, right? Spawn kill people, or I think even there's an option now to delete maps, or just stupid silly shit that's ridiculous, right? Like, some people want to play a game and you got to have these Midnight guys. They come in there, they ruin the game, and it's just like, it's horrible. Like, you don't want that shit, right? And it doesn't make sense because, I mean, most of these guys have their Midnight only for a few months before they get kicked off the tool. Like I have a message from the owner. He's like, oh yeah, you've exceeded your time on lifetime. It's like, what do you mean? Like, I had it for I think 18 months, or no, it was like maybe less than that. And it's like, you're spending with the extra shit I had on it, like $2,000 or some crazy number. And he's like, oh, you've exceeded your lifetime of $2,000. Please send us another $2,000. It's like, what? And so that was a big eye-opener to a lot of the users. It's like, oh shit, well, I guess we're not going to buy lifetime because like a certain time period goes by and next thing you know, they just eat it from you. And so, but yeah, the abuse it's out there. I mean, it's a big complaint of a lot of the normal players out there. Me, myself, I never really abused. I just sat in corner, worked on my database customers was the main thing I used it for. But I'll sit there and I'll watch these other people come in there with mid and just literally just spawn the entire map and just delete everything and just crash it. And just shit like that, Next, we're going to get into how they don't even have their own mods. And so these screenshots that I'm about to show you are directly from the owner of Midnight. He sent these to me. So this is another tool called Nightfall, right? And so this is him cracking Nightfall so he can add more mods to his tool. And so all he's doing here is just basically, all he did was software crack it. And then he took their mods and threw them on his tool. And so, I mean, most of the mods on Midnight are basically just stolen mods, And like these are mods that you can get on other tools. You guys can, and I'll start listing off some of these tools, some of the contacts of the people you can go talk to get these tools. These are trustworthy buyers and shit. They're not gonna like scam you and then come back and be like, oh, I know you bought Lifetime, but now you owe us more money. They're not gonna do shit like that. Not like Midnight, right? And so, yeah. So this is basically just them cracking these tools and shit. And I don't know why they were sharing this shit. I don't understand. Like, hey guys, here I am cracking this other mod tool to steal their shit. Like, it's like, okay. So yeah, that's what that is. And then we have other tools to use. So we're going to discuss that. And so now I don't have the full contacts of like some of these other people that are like currently making some of these tools. I do know there's one individual that's probably selling tools by the name of SD. And the rumor is he's now working with the Nightfall team on a tool or something. And so if you guys could like, maybe, I know some of you guys are kind of stranded out there looking to buy some tools, head over there and check them out. I do know that they're pretty genuine people. They're not going to scam you, and they have fair pricing, and and they make their own stuff. They're pretty fair people. Definitely check out their tools and shit and see what they got going on. If you're more of like that cheat engine type of person, and I know a lot of cheat engines got patched recently. I do know people that have ones that are not being patched. And so if you're looking to get like a really good cheat engine with some really cool shit, just reach out to me, and I can direct you to some of these people. A lot of these people are former Midnight users that got scammed, and then they kind of just went on and made their own shit, made their own tools or their own tables or whatever. And they got the very fair tools, and they got fair pricing, dude. We're talking like a lifetime for the price of a week of Midnight, bro. Like very fair pricing, and they're not gonna fucking scam you or And so and that's the other thing I forgot to mention was Midnight. What they'll do is if you're buying from the ownership, it's a cryptocurrency payment only. And it's obvious why they do it, so they can scam you, because you're not going to be able to charge back in crypto, right? And so I was told by one of the moderators that's why they do it, is so that people can't charge them back. Well, why is that? Well, obviously they're scamming people, right? And so we have countless people that can vouch for that. And so, but that's basically this video, guys. I'm just warning you guys. I'm trying to do a favor here on giving you guys a heads up and to avoid this shit. The tool doesn't even work that well. Most of the people I'm talking to are having constant crashes, and they stopped updating the tool. There hasn't been a Midnight update since December, and they used to do it what it seemed like to be once a month, and now they just stopped because they're trying to sell their shit from Marvel Rivals, which has the same issues. So like, what's the point? And so the tool sits there, the crashing is not being fixed, and that's where it currently stands. It's kind of a dying tool, really. But yeah, anyways, and so if you guys have been scammed and you're looking for any legal routes to take, we have his information, and we'll send you his information. And then if you're trying to go after him, you guys can go to court, whatever you guys got to do. Like I said, it's an individual out of Missouri. We've already tracked him down and stuff. So, but yeah, thank you for watching this video, guys. If you guys have any other more confessions about Midnight, or if you need more questions regarding other tools or any other help, please reach out to me. I'll post some contact details down below. Thank you.